So this is very cool, man. Free Comedy Friday is back. It's in full swing. Comedy clubs are open back up, and people need it right now. So it's pretty cool that Free Comedy Friday is back, and performing this weekend at the American Comedy Company is a guy that I'm so stoked to have in studio and meet for the first time.
Yes.
Nimesh Patel hanging out with us this morning, headlining at the American Comedy Company.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I can feel your energy,
dude.
Eddie.
I'm so stoked to have you, man. For a bunch
Move
of different
closer
reasons.
to Emily right now.
I'm not that stoked. Let's calm down. But Nimesh, this is your first time in San Diego?
It is, man. It's good to be here.
Wow.
Home of that white lady that stormed the Capitol.
That's us, man.
That is us.
I think that's what we're known for. That's our new slogan.
That's what you're known for
That's
to me.
our new slogan.
Yeah, we're also known for the white lady who harassed the worker at Starbucks for wearing the mask. That was early pandemic. That was viral too.
Y'all got all of
You're
them.
welcome.
Yeah, a lot of white ladies getting upset here in San Diego.
Something about the sun.
Yeah,
Freedom.
makes this go a little crazy. But it's all good. Nimesh, I was stoked to hear that you were coming in because I heard about an incident that happened to you on stage. This was
Which one?
recently, right? I think we know which one. It was crazy, man. It's one of the wilder things I've seen happen to a comic. You guys deal with hecklers all the time, and I mean that's whatever. But this was an incident that happened at Columbia University where some students, these girls, they set up a comedy show, and you went out to perform. And they kicked you off the stage because of some jokes you told.
Yeah, I remember that.
You remember that, Nick?
It was one of the wildest scenes because I saw the whole thing on YouTube and I remembered the story. And so when I saw you were coming in, I'm like, dude, I can't wait to talk to you about this because it had to have been a surreal moment for you.
It was in the moment very surreal, but it was in 2018, so it wasn't recent.
Yeah.
It feels like forever ago, only because it's been 3 years and we had the pandemic happen, and that moment for me was surreal beyond just when it happened. It was surreal in the sense it's like I can't get away from it.
Right.
I have to because before that I was the Indian guy that was the first Indian writer right on SNL, or an Indian writer that was hired directly by Chris Rock, and then after that it was like he's a Columbia kid. I'm like, do you know who the F I am? Like, this is nothing. Yeah. And the only reason it got so much traction is because some journalist from Columbia's got a huge journalism school, and some lady picked up an article that was written by a student, and then that lady's article got picked up by Tucker, another San Diego hero, Tucker Carlson. And,
San Diego hero.
And so when that happened, I was like, damn it. Like, now this is going to be a huge thing. I don't want to talk about it because it was up until for like a week afterwards, I was like, it's just going to die. It's like a non-story to me, you know?
Yeah. But I mean, it's such the reason why it blew up, and I think the reason why people care is because we're in that weird cancel culture.
It sucks.
Everybody's offended by everything, and that's what played out on stage.
Yeah. At the risk of offending everyone in the room, I don't think cancel culture is real.
Okay, why?
You can't name one person that got canceled that didn't deserve to be canceled. And I'm still here. So, like, I didn't get canceled. They tried, but, nothing happened to me.
Yeah.
I've worked more now than I did before.
Okay.
And so that whole culture, I think the cancel culture only exists because we wish it into existence. We're like, no, cancel culture is real. We can't say whatever you want. Everyone is saying exactly what they want all the time, except on this radio because I want to curse, but I can't. But, but like everyone's just saying whatever they want all the time. Like, there's never been more people saying anything and everything that they want. Cancel culture is so not real that someone convinced some white lady to storm the Capitol. That's how free everyone is to say whatever they want. So I'm always like, you can't name one person, can you?
Well, recently, The Bachelor, Chris Harrison, the host of The Bachelor, he's now, after 20 years, out of the Bachelor franchise because he said, hey, we need to look at things in context. And this sorority girl who went to an antebellum party 5 years ago in the South, yes, it's not right today, but we kind of got to look at the historical context of where things came from. We need to be a little bit more compassionate. And now he's canceled. He has lost a gig of $20 20 years, and now he's basically labeled like a racist?
He got to retire on top.
Well, but he didn't want to.
He didn't want to.
But
It wasn't his choice to retire.
But like this is when we talk about cancel culture. It's like, does the punishment fit the crime?
I don't think so.
I think it's fine. He's let go after 20 years for. They probably had a billion other reasons to let this guy go. I don't know anything about this story. It's the first time hearing.
You're not a Bachelor fan.
I don't even know who Chris Harrison is. I'm like the Catch a Predator guy.
No.
That's Chris Hansen. That's very different.
It wouldn't surprise me if he got canceled either. But
Well,
I think he did.
That actually did happen.
Why? What did he do?
He
wrote bad checks.
Bad checks. Yeah.
Oh,
Different story.
that's like a crime.
Yeah, exactly.
So I mean that's a great counterpoint.
Yeah.
But to me, it's like, okay, if you say something that people, it always comes down to the bottom line. If you're going to cost someone money with what you say, if people are going to not tune into what you have going on because of what something, if no one's going to turn into ABC because of what Chris Harrison said, then they're like, all right, we're going to let you go. You can't work here anymore because you're going to cost us money. It's not like we don't appreciate what you've said or we don't necessarily agree with it. A ton of people don't agree enough so that they're going to tune out and we can't sell Colgate anymore. So
yeah, but don't you think though that it's a small minority that is saying I'm offended, and they're loud.
Yeah.
And then the majority of people are like, what? I'm not really even sure what he said was bad. Like, what's going on? I'm confused.
Well, I think the people who are not offended need to just speak up and be louder. It's always the people. What's the closed mouth don't get fed, right? That's a Jay-Z line. It's also probably like a known idiom somewhere else. But I know from Jay-Z.
We'll give Jay credit for that one. He made that one up.
It's like with comics. I saw Chris Rock when he was promoting his movie a couple weeks ago say that we don't need cancel culture. The audience tells us if it's not funny by not laughing.
Thank you, Chris.
Okay.
Yeah.
And since that's such a great point too,
Yeah.
It's like Chris is my OG, right? He's the first one to ever give me a job, and
awesome.
first guy to ever see me do comedy and be like, he needs to write for me for the Oscars. That's how it went.
Stop
So
it.
yeah, so when
Awesome.
when Chris says something like, it's like, yeah, that's exactly right. The audience will tell you. And now Louis, who I think
Louis C.K.
Did a very bad thing.
Yes.
The audience has spoken. He's going back and he's doing shows, and people are laughing at. That's what it is. It's like murderers make parole. So we as a society have decided, and we met out our punishment accordingly. I guarantee you, Chris Harrison will work again.
Yeah,
He'll be
I hope
fine.
so.
If
You're
not,
right.
he's got
You're right.
$20 million, $50 million just chilling in the bank.
$1 billion. Yeah, he's okay.
My friend Jordan Temple has a great joke. He goes, I can't wait to get canceled so I can finally rest. It's like, perfect. Yeah, just relax,
Yeah, you're right. It's an interesting way to look at that for sure. Going back to Chris Rock, when you're doing stand up and sort of early in your career, and Chris Rock comes up and says, I need you to write for me for the Oscars. That's got to be kind of cool and kind of intimidating at the same time.
I wish it were exactly like that.
Okay.
It was. I used to run a show with my friend Mike Denny and Michael Che of SNL in Brooklyn, and in like summer of 2015, I'd just been rejected from JFL's New Faces for like the second or third time. Shout out to Jeff Singer. Hats off to him. He was recently canceled.
Congratulations.
Hats off to him.
You did it.
Congrats to you,
Doing
Jeff.
something right.
You nothing. Sorry, I'm trying not to be an angry person, but I was like full of like angst in comedy, and I went up on stage. It was my show, and so Chris was supposed to be there to watch another comic by the name of Langston Kerman, who is doing great work now. But Chris was late, so Langston couldn't go up to be seen because obviously Chris wasn't there. And then when Chris walked in, I was like, I'm definitely going up.
exactly.
I gotta go up. And I went up and I did my best 10 minutes. I heard Chris laugh at like the second or third joke.
How great is that feeling?
Oh my god! I blacked out. I still remember. I still remember exactly the joke. I remember exactly
crazy.
where he was standing. I was like, oh my god! And then it was right after Cecil the Lion had been murdered.
Oh, yeah.
They'd been heinously murdered.
Yes.
But shot by a dentist on vacation.
I remember that.
And everyone was so upset, and I was just like, why? We eat animals all the time. Why do we care about specific animals? I had 4 chickens today, And I just remember Chris dying of laughter. Everyone else was a little quiet, but Chris, Chris is laughing.
Yeah.
And I was like, all right, well, I'm made. And then after I was done, Chris was like, hey, man, you're really funny. I was like, you're Chris Rock. And then like 3 months later, he got the Oscars gig hosting for the Oscars for 2016. And like 2 days later, I got an email saying, hey, Chris wants you to write for the Oscars.
Wow. So he
like,
remembered you.
Yeah, it was
Pretty
crazy.
crazy.
That was like
that's cool.
defining moment for me.
Definitely, man.
You know.
Well, there's going to be some defining moments on stage this weekend. Definitely
I
go
hope
check 'em
so.
out. Yes. First time in San Diego, go support them.
Yeah,
American
for
Comedy
sure.
Company.
Please come out. They're all sold out, but if you maybe punch someone, bootleg some tickets or something.
Wait a
Oh, don't get canceled, man. Don't get canceled. Hey, thanks for coming in, man.
Thank
Good
you
meeting
guys.
you,
Thank
for
you.
sure.
Thank you.